So I've been playing around with the VIOFO HK4 Hardwire kit for the VIOFO cameras, and this has turned out to be one of the most versatile and advanced parking monitoring solutions that I have seen till now. But before I begin with the unboxing and the installation of this kit for the VIOFO T130 triple channel dashcam, there are certain aspects about this hardware kit which is definitely going to transform the way you're going to think about this. So what are those important points? Let's find out. So first and foremost, this hardware kit provides you with three different solutions for parking monitoring. The first is the auto event detection, the second is the time-lapse monitoring, and the third is the low bitrate recording. I'm going to tell you in detail about all these three, but first let's begin with the auto event detection. Now the auto event detection mode is supported by two different aspects, that is motion sensor and advanced buffer parking mode. Now this is something really cool, and this is something which I really wanted to share with you guys because you might not have seen this before. What the motion sensor does is this detects any motion in front of the car, in front of the camera lens to be exact, and captures the video of the entire motion which is happening. So if anyone approaches your car or passes close by, the video is recorded within the dash cam. The second important aspect of the auto event detection is the advanced buffered parking mode. Now when you have enabled auto event detection mode in the parking monitoring settings, the advanced buffered parking mode and motion sensor mode are pre-activated and you don't need to activate them separately. So whenever the camera detects an abnormal vibration, an abnormal collision or an impact, the impact moment is recorded directly on the memory card along with 15 seconds prior to what happened before the impact and 30 seconds what happened after the impact. Now this is very important because some dash cameras do tend to miss out what happens before the event and what happens after the event, and sometimes they do lag in sensing the exact moment the impact or a vibration happened. Now rather than just telling you about this, I think I'll just show you how this camera does it. So here is the parking mode footage from the dash camera. On the left top corner is the front camera and the right top corner is the rear camera, and at the bottom is the interior cam. So you get all three camera footage simultaneously in parking monitoring, and that is really excellent thing. So in this video I'm going to come out of a dark place, so as you can see now, and I'm going to hit the bonnet of the car. The camera detected the vibration and it recorded the 15 seconds prior video to when I came out, and it will record the 30 seconds video after the impact happened. So as you just saw, the camera showed you exactly from where I came, what happened during the impact, and what happened after the impact, which is which way I went after hitting the car. So all three important aspects which are actually required in parking monitoring is covered by this dash camera, and this is what really anybody wants from a dash cam. Now I'm really impressed with this because this covers the entire story, and the auto event detection mode of this camera is beyond excellent. Now coming to the second mode, which is the time-lapse mode. Now this is common among many dash cams. Now this camera offers frame rates from 1 fps up to 10 fps, which means you have variation in terms of recording the video. Now I did capture a 1 fps parking monitoring video, and here is the view from all the three different dash cams. This covers a longer duration of time and compresses it in a short video file to give you an overview of the entire scene that happened in and around the car during that particular period of time. Now coming to the third aspect, which is the low bitrate recording. Now this is just a normal recording but with a low bitrate, which means the camera is going to record video as it records in a normal mode, but the video file size will be very much smaller in order to save space, because parking modes generally tend to have longer video files, may stretch up to 4 hours, 5 hours or 8 hours. So in order to save space, the dash camera is going to record a regular video but with a lower bitrate, meaning having lesser data compared to a regular full bitrate video. So you have the convenience of choosing any of these three parking modes, and I think the auto event detection, which has both motion sensor and advanced buffer parking mode, is something which is going to be really helpful if you are someone who is looking for a perfect parking monitoring solution. So another important aspect which I need to tell you is that this is a true motion sensor, which means it does not depend on the built-in G sensor of the dash camera. Most of the other dash cameras which offer motion sensing parking monitoring are dependent on the G sensor, and they detect the motion only if there is any vibration or if there is any impact on the car. But this dash camera will work without any vibration, without anybody even touching your car, because this has true motion sensors, and this works in all three dash cameras. Yes, this works in front, rear and interior cam. So if there is motion detected in front of any of these three dash cameras, the camera will start to record videos from all three inputs, and you will get a complete detail of the entire motion that happened in or outside the car. Also guys, the buffered parking has a 5-second cache memory. which means the camera keeps recording a video in a 5-second loop, which does not take much battery, which doesn't take much power, and also it doesn't write to the micro SD card. It keeps the video in the cache memory on a 5-second loop, and as soon as a motion is detected, the cache memory 5-second loop is transferred to the micro SD card up until the point of impact or point of vibration, and it will continue to record until the abnormal motion or vibration goes away. So this means you will get to know what happened before the impact, what happened during the impact, and what happened after the impact or the vibration. So this is something which only VIOFO dashcams really excel at, because it has got true motion sensor parking monitoring. Also, I can give you a very specific example of how effective this motion sensing parking mode can work for you. So if your car is parked and the parking mode auto event detection is enabled, if somebody comes close to the car and tries to peep into the window, maybe to take away your belongings, your wallet, your purse, your laptop, the VIOFO dash cameras can detect this motion automatically, because all 3 dash cameras support motion sensing, and this dash cam will record the entire scene of how and from where the person came close to the car, what he did once he came close, and what happened after he left, if he did leave after that. So only VIOFO cameras are capable of doing this, because they have the true motion parking mode enabled within them. Also, if somebody does try to move very fast from the car, maybe runs from one side of the car to the another in a very fast manner, the VIOFO cam can really capture it, because it has got buffered parking mode, it has got a 5-second cache memory, and this cache memory is transferred to the micro SD card. So before somebody passes very fast in front of your car, so this particular video file will start even before the person came in front of the car or came in front of the dash cam. So this is something which the VIOFO cam really excels at. Now coming to another important point, this hardware kit has a dedicated voltage switch, which means you can actually set the voltage of the battery at which you want to cut off the power to the dash cam and save battery from getting drained. And they have provided 4 different voltages for both 12 volt and a 24 volt battery cars. Now for 12 volt battery cars, you have the 11.8, 12, 12.2 and 12.4 volt. Now you can set the voltage based on your preference, and as soon as the battery reaches that particular voltage, the power to the hardware kit will be cut off and your battery will get saved from draining out. Another important point is that the hardware kit wire length is about 4 meters. So even if the fuse box of the car is not easily accessible to you and it is a bit far off from the area from where you're mounting the dash cam, the 4-meter length of the wire should be sufficient in order to complete the hardwiring and get you a parking mode for your dash cam. Following this, VIOFO also recommends that you take prior consent from your car dealer in case if your car is in warranty, if you can hardwire your car or not, to avoid any warranty claim dispute later on if in case any such situation arises. And lastly guys, after all this, I do need to tell you that this hardware kit comes at a price of 2,499 rupees, which is 2,500 bucks on Amazon. And if you're interested in purchasing this, the link to purchase it is provided in the description of this video. So just go ahead, click down on the description, you will find the relevant links right there. VIOFO sends you this hardware kit with suitable fuse tabs so that you don't get confused which fuse tabs to install in your car. So these were the most important aspects and points which you needed to remember about this HK4 hardware kit by VIOFO, and I think these points are really something to consider before you go ahead and buy this kit. So enough talk, let's jump into the unboxing of this kit and later follow it up by detailed installation guide on how you can install this. So let's get started. So here is the box pack of the VIOFO HK4 hardware kit for the VIOFO dashcams. So they have provided a pictorial representation of the hardware kit, and there is a VIOFO branding on the top of the box. There are some details provided on the box. So this is compatible with both 12 volt and 24 volt vehicles. It has a 4 low voltage cutoff options to prevent battery drain. ACC detection automatically switches to parking mode, and permanent dash camera power supply. So on the other side of the box, they have provided detailed product parameters. So it says this works with input level of 12 to 24 volts and the output is USB Type-C, 5 volts, 2 amps max. The length of the wire is 4 meters. The input interface is ACC yellow, ground is black and battery is red. So these colors signify the color of the wires, and this is compatible with VIOFO USB Type-C right angle plug dash cameras. So below this they have provided certain details such as this supports parking recording with ACC detection. The HK4 hardware kit provides permanent power to the dashcam for the parking recording function. The ACC detection function will switch the dash camera into parking mode automatically when the vehicle engine is shut off and will resume normal recording when the vehicle engine is turned back on. The low voltage cutoff function will protect the car battery from excessive discharge. So that's a really cool function because it is going to save your battery, And on the back of the box, again, they have provided certain detailed specifications. The adjustable low voltage battery protection function will cut the power to your dash camera when it detects the vehicle battery voltage is below the set value. So you can basically set a value below which the hardware kit will automatically cut off the power. This function covers both 12 and 24 volt vehicle systems with the following voltage settings. So they have provided the voltage settings for both 12 volt and 24 volts, and there is a chart right here which you can refer for your convenience. Following this, they have said that the product includes protection from reverse connection as well. And when the vehicle is turned off, the hardware kit will monitor the battery voltage and turn the dash camera off if the battery voltage is lower than the set value for greater than 90 seconds plus or minus 10. This will protect the battery from excess discharge. So at the bottom, again, there is a note provided. Professional installation is recommended. Do not cover the HK4 with car carpet. Mount it in open space. So you have to keep it in open space for proper air ventilation. Set the parking recording option in the camera setup before first use. So you need to set the camera parking mode within the in-app settings before using this hardware kit. The HK4 hardware kit requires 2 fuse tabs to function correctly, one connected to the ACC cable and the other to the battery cable. We recommend that you test for correct functioning of the hardware kit and camera before fully securing the cables neatly behind the vehicle trim. So very important instructions actually given on top of the box. I have hardly seen any hardware kits provide this much detail in terms of description and in terms of instructions to the end user. So someone who is doing this for the first time or is not so well versed in using hardware kits, they will definitely find this very useful. So let's open up the box and see what are the contents inside. So here is the first package inside the box. So I'll just open it. So these are the fuse tabs which come in the box, but in your case, you will get only one single fuse tab because after purchasing this, VIOFO is going to inquire about the model and the year of the car, and they're going to provide the corresponding fuse tab. But for the sake of this review, they have sent all 4 different fuse types. So let's keep this aside and take a look in the box. So in the other cover, again, there are 4 sets of fuse tabs provided. And as I said, this is only for the review. In your case, you'll be getting only one single pair of fuse tab. So in my case, I have a low profile mini, which is this particular fuse. So this is a low profile mini fuse, and I'll be using the same fuse for the installation of the hardware kit. So you need to have 2 fuse tabs with a similar profile of the fuse. So in this case, I have a low profile mini in my car, so I'll be using these 2. So I'll keep these 2 wires aside and dive down into the box. So there's one more packet inside the box, and if I go ahead and open it, so this is the main hardware kit wire. So this is a 4 meter length wire. So as you can see, at one end there is a L-shaped type C connector. So this HK4 hardware kit is compatible with those dash cams which use a L-shaped connector, and in between you have a switch box, and on top of the box they have provided all the details as I just showed you on top of the cardboard box previously. So the input is red power and black is for ground and yellow is for ACC. On the bottom of this box there is a switch provided which you need to slide. So it just slides in like this and clicks into place. So you need to slide this, and the corresponding voltage is going to be set, and after the hardware kit detects that particular voltage for more than 90 seconds, it is going to turn off. So in this case, as you can see, the highest provided voltage is 12.4 volts in case of the 12 volt battery, and in 24.8 volts in case of the 24 volt battery. Also in the box you do find a user manual for the hardware kit. Now this is going to be very useful for most people, and someone who is doing this for the first time can actually go through this entire stuff and get to know in detail the technical specifications, the features, the settings, and the entire process you need to do in order to install the hardware kit. So they've really given a very detailed step-by-step process here, and if you're interested, you can go ahead and check this out as well. So let's open up the wire and show you how the connections are going to be made. So here are the 3 different colored cables, the red, yellow and black. So the red is for battery, or VCC some might call it. So this connects to the fuse where it has 24-hour battery supply. So the yellow is for ACC, which means this will have a supply of battery only when the car turns on, and the black is for grounding, and it has got a terminal which you can attach to a screw or a nut in order to give a proper connection. So let's start off with attaching this wire. So as you can see, we just took out the fuse tabs, and one of these fuse tabs you have to use it for ACC and another one for the VCC connection. So let's start with the VCC or the battery connection. So what you need to do is to have this blue colored cover here on one end of the wire. So just insert the exposed wire terminal of the power cable of the red colored cable and push it inside the blue terminal. So there you go, it's now pushed in inside properly and it is snugly fit in there. So the next thing which you need to do is take a plier and then press the one end of the blue terminal so that the wire gets attached firmly. So I'll just go ahead and press it now. So the blue terminal gets squeezed out, as you can see, and it completely presses inside. So this makes sure that the wire is attached inside firmly and it won't come out now. So this is how you have to attach the terminals. So let's repeat the same for the ACC wire, and here is another fuse tab. So just insert the exposed end of the wire into the blue terminal. Make sure it has gone in completely. Hold the wire in position. Take the plier and press the one end of the blue terminal and squeeze it down. So there you go, the squeezing part is done and now the blue terminal is squeezed inside. This makes sure that the wire gets adhered inside and won't come out easily. So both the terminals are now attached and they're sealed off pretty well. So after attaching both these wires into their respective fuse tabs, there is one extra thing which you can do, and that is attach some insulation tape. So this makes sure that the attachment is complete and there is complete insulation at the point of the new junction. So just take the end of the wire where you just pressed in onto the blue terminal and roll on some insulation tape right on top of it. So here you go, one terminal is completed. We'll take some more insulation tape. Take a small piece, cut it off, and then take the end of the wire where you have joined into the blue terminal, place the insulation on top of it and just turn it around and completely seal off the area. And now the process is complete and both the wires are now completely and properly sealed off and attached to the fuse tabs. The third wire, or the black ground wire, now this is going to attach to a screw or a nut inside the car for grounding purposes, and this won't need any insulation tape as of now. So now since this process is complete, let's head down into the car and attach the hardwire kit into the fuse box and start up the parking monitoring. Also, another important point before you watch the installation video is that I have made a detailed video regarding hardwiring previously, and in that I have covered in detail how you can recognize the ACC fuse, the VCC or the power fuse, and the grounding point. So if you have any difficulty in finding the right fuse, the accessory fuse or the battery fuse or the grounding point of your car, you can check back on my previous video and you'll find all the detailed information in that video. Just for your convenience, I'll leave the link for the video on top of this and also in the description of this video. So just click down on the description, you'll find the link there, click on it and watch the video to understand in detail regarding hardwiring. So let's continue with the installation. So before you actually install the hardwire kit, connect the dashcam with your regular USB power cable and connect it to the 12-volt socket of the car. Then follow it up by turning on the engine of the car. So once that is done, make sure the camera turns on properly and is recording the video properly. Following this, open the VIOFO Dashcam app on your smartphone and connect via the dashcam's hotspot, and then make sure that the dash camera is connected to the VIOFO app. Following that, turn off the recording by clicking on the red button at the bottom of the app. Then head into the settings of the app and head to the parking mode. Now click on the parking mode and here you can find the time lapse option and the auto event detection option. Click on the auto event detection and following it, click on the OK button on the right top corner. So now the parking mode is enabled in the auto event detection mode. Then following this, turn off the engine. Now all you need to do is head into the fuse box of the car and recognize the particular fuse. So in this case, this is the fuse number 5, which is a small light for the Honda WRV. Now take a fuse remover or a fuse clip and gently pull out the fuse. So here is the fuse number 5 for small light, and this is a VCC or a battery fuse. Then identify the next fuse, which is the ACC fuse. In this case, it is fuse number 39, which powers the accessory power socket in a Honda WRV. So I have removed the fuse right here and then I have kept it at a separate place. Following this, take the particular fuse tab. So in this case, this is the battery fuse. Now insert the original fuse into the fuse holder of the fuse tab. Push it gently so that it adheres to the fuse tab properly. Then following that, insert the fuse tab into the respective fuse slot. Now take the accessory wire fuse tab and insert the original fuse into the extra fuse holder. Now insert it into the slot from which you removed the original fuse. So that's it, most of the work is done. Now following this, find the nut which is bolted onto the body of the car, unscrew it and push in the ground wire lead, and then tighten back the screw so that the ground wire lead is fixed firmly onto the bolt of the car. Following this, take the voltage switch and preferably set it at 12 volts so that if somebody uses some other accessories, the battery wouldn't still drain out. Following this, turn on the engine of the car to check if the dashcam is working properly. The dashcam should turn on and start recording in a normal mode. and if it is doing so, then head back and turn off the engine of the car, and as soon as you do, you should hear this.
Parking recording started.
So as soon as you hear this audio prompt, this means the hardwiring is complete. Following this, go ahead and turn on the engine of the car. So as soon as you turn on, the dash camera should also start recording in a normal way, and this means the hardwiring is now complete and your parking mode is now enabled. So I hope you now have understood the entire process of hardwiring. It's a very simple process. Actually, it only looks very complicated when you look at it from the top, but when you go ahead and actually do it, it's a very simple and a easy process. And if you do have any doubts or queries regarding hardwiring, which I'm pretty sure you will definitely have, write down in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, as I mentioned previously, this hardware kit comes at a price of 2,500 rupees on Amazon, and if you're interested to purchase it, click on the description below and you'll find the purchase link right there. Also guys, this is a long and detailed video covering the entire hardwiring process, its features and everything regarding the VIOFO T130 and the HK4 hardwiring kit. Make sure to recognize the effort which has gone behind in making this video and hit the subscribe button of Travel Tech, and also do not forget to smash that like button. Many more interesting videos are coming up in the future. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and until next one, see you.